Hi everybody, Dan Illman and Matt Bernier. The DRFBets race of the day for Wednesday, January the 30th. Well, it's the first race at Gulfstream Park. We open up the card and start off the 50-cent pick 5. You can bet the pick 5 and the entire Gulfstream card with a DRFBets account. Sign up, deposit $50, bet with $200 at bets.drf.com. Let's meet the field for the opener at Gulfstream on Wednesday. We're going 1 mile and a 16th on the turf. Fillies and mares 4 and up, which is started from a claiming price of $16,000 or less, or optional claiming of $25. Access free formulator past performances on the race of the day event page at drf.com and handicap along with us. We'll take the field in post position order, beginning with the number 1 Lucky Long, who's getting some much needed class relief, Matt.
Yeah, I think Lucky Long's actually a little interesting in here. You say Irad Ortiz Jr. is listed as the rider. You're right, getting significant class relief going from the N1X most recently. Now we drop into the starter allowance. There's a part of me that thinks that this horse, if you believe certain figures, and again, we've talked about this in the past, not all figures are equal, and certain ones are going to be a little bit higher than others in certain circumstances. The time form rating for that most recent run actually a little bit faster than what the buyer would suggest. And if you believe the time form number is more accurate than the buyer in that race, and who knows, you may believe the buyer is more accurate than the time form rating. That's you as the handicapper to make the call. If you believe the time form number, he's not that far off. And at 10-1, I picked him second. I think he's got a puncher's chance.
This horse has shown speed in the past. Our friends at Timeform US believe that he can take advantage of her inside post position and make the early lead. Now, the good news is, I'm not sure I agree with this pace projector, but Lucky Long doesn't need the lead to be successful. I think whether she's on the lead, whether she's tracking in behind, a good trip is coming.
It wasn't that long ago that we saw this horse in New York put together some really nice races. And I'm not trying to dump on the horses down at Gulfstream right now, but, you know, if you can get back to that form that this mare once had, there's no reason to think that she can't get in there with a big number.
Number 2, Nikki's Cause, has won 3 out of her last 5 starts, making her first start off the claim. This horse has historically done well at Gulfstream Park, and she beat Scatnap, who's also in this field, in her most recent race. Now, she's the kind of horse that's going to need some pace to set up her late kick, but you can't knock her consistency. She's usually right there.
Yeah, she is, and she's a neat horse to look at. She's one of those horses that you can't help but respect. At the same time, from a gambling standpoint, I do look at her and say I think she's a little bit on the cheap side. This level, I think, is probably a little bit too tough for her, and accordingly, at 3-1, I'm going to be against her.
Just Sassy started her career 1 for 21. The light bulb has gone on in recent starts. She has won 3 out of her last 4 races. She was aided by an advantageous pace situation, I believe, in her most recent start, and that's going to be the key here as she steps up in class. It's nice to see that she's gotten sharp, but this is kind of the acid test.
I don't think she's quite ready for this level, but I will say, I mean, when was the last time you saw a horse that you don't see any obvious equipment change on paper, all of a sudden just put it together? Now, she's not running exceptionally quick races, but at the same time, she went from, like you say, basically a career 1 for whatever the number was to all of a sudden being rock solid and consistent. I think it's kind of a neat story. I don't love her here, though.
Morning line favorites, the number 4, Cool Kate. All this mare's done is win 6 of 11 lifetime starts, and we have a positive formulator fact for her rock-solid trainer, Anthony Granite's past 5 years with horses 4-year-olds and older, making their second start off the layoff in optional claiming turf routes, 33% winners, a $5.76 ROI. I think this mare is going to show speed because she's tried to bottom out fields in the past. She's had a good amount of success, and she chased a good pace last time out at Tampa Bay.
I was going to say, I kind of feel like, you know, it's unfortunate that she wasn't able to get the job done that day at Tampa, but given the fact that she was off for a few months prior to that, there was a hot pace, and she stuck around till the end. I think she's going to benefit greatly exiting that race. Now, look, again, the question becomes, how much different is the competition level going from Tampa over across the state to Gulfstream? It's entirely possible this is going to be too tough for her, but based on her form and her running style, I think she got a chance.
I think the 5, Indy Gita, has a chance. They put her on the lead last time out, going 1 mile and an 1/8. I think A, it was a little bit too far. B, that's really not her best running style. And C, those non-winners of 1 other than optionals are just a little bit too tough for her. The last time she was in a starter optional was 4 starts back. She rallied from off the pace to win this race at 8-1 on the morning line with Paco Lopez. She's not a prolific winner. She's 0 for 19 at Gulfstream, but she's the kind of mare that might be able to sneak into the exotics at a nice price.
And I think you're supposed to use that race that you made mention from Gulfstream West back in October as the barometer, because this is the first time that she's been against I would say, comparable foes in this spot. In that most recent run, you're right. The distance wasn't the thing that she really wanted. I don't know that she's truly a speed type. But at the end of the day, that wasn't a terrible effort either. My only concern is kind of what you alluded to. She is not the most likely as far as win contenders are concerned in here. She doesn't love winning races. Accordingly, I'd consider her underneath, though.
Prado Vision already has a victory at this meet, at this distance, against weaker $16,000 sellers. She got a very nice pace, according to Timeform US, to win that race, color-coded red fractions. She came from far, far back to win. It's not out of the realm of possibility that, listen, there could be another fast pace here, but I need to see it again.
Agreed. I think she just needs to prove that she can handle this level. When they ran at a similar level 2 starts back, she was no match, and that had a very big pace that day. She was bet, and she just didn't fire. I kind of feel like she's... look, I'm not going to talk anybody off of an 8-10 to 1 shot, but at the same time, I kind of agree with you. I don't know if I love her here.
We're very familiar with the 7 German Street from her efforts at Tampa Bay Downs last year, where she was on quite a roll. Heck, she won 5 of 7 starts in 2018, and in her most recent effort, she got a beautiful trip against a pretty good field of optional claiming foes. She was able to save ground behind a fast pace, and boy, the rail opened up. There was just a gigantic hole, and she shot on through and showed her heart to win and paid $32. I think this is a comparable field. I think she has the tactical speed to sit just off the pace. She's a very logical contender, but I just don't like playing perfect trip horses if they get bet a lot. 4 to 1 is fair.
Well, and the other thing, too, is, but like you say, getting bet a lot, but there is a difference between doing it at Tampa and doing it at Gulfstream. Right. And I know, it, like you say, at face value, this is, I think this is a comparable group as far as quality is concerned. I just look at it and say, boy, if I'm going to look at that Timeform rating and see a raw number of 107, and many of these other girls live in the high 90 range, I got to take a shot if it's going to be 4 to 1.
Ah, that's completely understandable. We take a look at our top selections. You are going to go with the 7 German Street, a horse that really likes to win and has tactical speed. I liked what I saw from Scatnap last time out. I don't think it was the strongest group of 16,000 claimers that she beat, but she was able to get to the lead. I liked the way she spurted clear in the stretch, and she won under basically hands and heels urging. She also has shown that she does not need the lead to win. Note the race 3 starts back at Gulfstream West. So I think Scatnap and Louis Saez probably play the break, tuck in mid-pack, and try to come with a wide run, stepping up a little bit in class, but she's sharp and she likes Gulfstream.
And, I think it's one of those things, too, that I don't know if enough people pay attention. The fact that she's been a hot one as far as the claim box is concerned. She just keeps going in and out. And so clearly, connections are interested in her, and they like what she's done. The fact that she's 3 for 5 at Gulfstream, I think that's something else that you want to keep in the back of your mind, because some of these other horses, we talked about it with Indy Guido, who from on a figure standpoint makes sense, but 0 for 19, it's tough for me to really trust you. On the flip side, you have Scatnap getting a little bit of an acid test here, but loves the track, in good form. I can't fault anybody at 6-8 to 1.
Distance a little bit of a question. She'll have to do it at 1 mile and a 16th, but if the price holds, I think she's right. 8-7-5 for me. You like the 7 German Street, 4 to 1 on the line. How do you play this race?
Yeah, I mean, I would take the 4 to 1 and take a chance. I think, again, just from a Timeform standpoint, that number is too strong, and she's run a number of those triple-digit Timeform US ratings. I'm also interested, though, in Lucky Long, that horse down on the inside on the rail with a rat aboard. I just think she might actually be a little bit better in that class relief. Maybe that goes a long way. I went 7-1-4.
We kick off the Wednesday 50-cent early pick 5 at Gulfstream Park with the opener, and you can play with a DRFBets account. Sign up at bets.drf.com, deposit $50, bet with $200. Ready, set, bet. Approximate post time for the opener at Gulfstream Park on Wednesday, 12:35 Eastern. Good luck.